It is a legal document, we have already discussed that thing, if it is a properly maintained and it is a well organized, right? The pages of the lab notebook, it should be numbered. Obviously, it is a numbered document, right? I mean, so every page is numbered, and why that numbering is important? That because it gives you the validity, that sequential thing is mentioned. Right? When you are writing that lab notebook, you are not keeping any spaces in between. Means there should not be a gap in the lab notebook. You are mentioning everything serially, right? That sequentially everything is going, and that is very important to it will, then only it will act as a good evidence, right? So you have to follow that what we can say guideline when you are writing a lab notebook. When you are receiving the lab notebook, if your institute or organization is giving you a lab notebook, obviously that will be a very good quality paper, because lab notebook, at least it should what we can say sustain for 3 to 5 years minimum, right? So because any project, if it starts, if it is in pharma industry or something like that, the project goes for 10 years, 15 years, something like that. If you are a PhD student, if you are lucky enough, your PhD will be completed in 3 years, but maybe it may extend up to the 5 years or 6 years. In that case, it depends on the subject, obviously, but in that case, it is obviously important that the paper quality of lab notebook should be very good. Okay, the ink which you are using, you are writing that lab notebook, so you should use a proper ink. It should be a permanent ink. It should not be a water, what we can say, a solvent reactive, or it should not get smeared out when anything falls on it or something. You should take caution while handling that lab notebook, but by mistake something falls on that thing, it should not get smeared. So you should use a good quality pen. You should write it in a nice way. It is like you should, whenever you are visiting after 2 years, you yourself at least should able to read that lab notebook. So in a legible manner, it should be written. Right, and the most important thing now, that you are writing your thought process, you are writing so many confidential things, you are writing a precise optimum composition, means conditions for that particular experiment, right? That exact temperature. You are writing the precise composition at a what we can say micro nano level also, you might be mentioning that thing. So if you are mentioning such a confidential information, the most important thing is that you should store it in a very safe place. It should not be made available freely to anybody, right? So it should be kept very cautiously. It's like how you are keeping your money or checkbook. You have to keep this lab notebook at that what we can say that level you have to follow when you are maintaining that lab notebook.